Welcome to All Things Mac. I'm your host, Jim Fair. Today I'm wearing my Apple shirt because Apple's Worldwide Developer Conference is ongoing, and yesterday they made some new announcements. But the one I'd like to focus on is this new Mac Pro. Now, as you may be aware, I work for an educational institution, and a couple of years ago we bought a whole lab of those old cylinder Mac Pros, and they were, around 3,500 Canadian a piece, and then we got a third-party display. Well, here Apple has released a new machine that's modular. It's very much like the old design, the big tower, wheels optional, which is amusing. But first of all, we have to talk about the price. Unless you're into 4K or 6K video, and you do that for a living, and you can afford to drop $12,000 US on a machine with this new display, or more, depending on how it's configured, up to $35K you could spend on this thing. I really don't know who the heck is going to buy it. To me, it looks like Johnny Ive is running the company, and the CEO, Tim Cook, is basically letting Johnny make the product decisions, and he's just making the financial decisions because he was a CFO. Now, that may be a harsh judgment for Tim Cook, but looking at the outside, I just can't imagine which Apple customers this is for. Most folks in the industry are using NVIDIA, and Apple is still pretending like they don't exist and not allowing Mac Pro users to put their product in one of these slots, as far as I can tell. Are these slots special, proprietary to Apple, or can you put any PCIe card in? That remains unclear at this point. And are you stuck buying their video card? Like, if you don't want it, if you want to put some other card in there, are you stuck buying theirs? I think you are. So, it's once again, let's just milk a product to death. Let's create a product that hardly anyone can afford. And the education sector is just left going, you expect us just to buy old iMacs with Fusion drives? I mean, really? It just smacks of elitism. Oh, we make the best stuff in the world, therefore people will pay more. The display is $5,000 US, and doesn't even come with a stand. The stand's another $1,000. So, $6,000 to buy a display. And what if you want dual displays? Heaven help you. So let's just see, dual displays, and if we pick a mid-range unit, I mean, you could spend easily $40,000 or more on this thing. It's 40 pounds of aluminum, basically, right? Here we are talking about recycling and being better, and this thing is 1.4 kilowatts of power and 40 pounds of aluminum with handles on it. And yeah, you can buy wheels for it. Great. The computer for the rest of us is the computer for the rich of us. And that's a sad thing. That's the great thing about Johnny Ive. His designs are amazing. But he had Steve Jobs to say, no, Johnny, we're not doing that. Here's what we're going to do. And without that direction, I don't think Tim is providing that direction. I just don't think that the team, Tim and Johnny, is anywhere near as effective as Steve and Johnny. And maybe this Mac Pro is a way to help their profit margin, because I certainly can't imagine what else they're expecting to do with this, except, are they going to sell them like hotcakes? I don't think so. Who can afford such a thing? I mean, maybe some ad agency will buy one and have their receptionist type up things on it. I don't know, man. It seems a big waste of a beautiful piece of hardware. But gosh, and it's not coming out till the fall. We've already been waiting for this thing for years and years and years. It's long overdue. And what do we get? This overpriced monster, this 40-pound behemoth. The base model has only 256 gig of storage. Are you kidding me? It should be 2 terabytes of solid state storage. For that price, it should be, 2 times 2, 4 as a mirror or something. If you want to throw power at something, you've got to think about who is it for. Who said we need 6K video? Yeah, down the road maybe, but right now, we're barely getting 4K out there. And that's even a big stretch. So, we're still in 1K, 1080. That's all we really need in education anyway, at the moment. 4K is a luxury that we basically can't afford. So, I guess education is stuck back in the old iMacs with their slow, pokey Fusion drives, and the Mac Pro is now a dream of, something we will never be able to afford. Be tempting to say, hey, start a GoFundMe page for my institution and see if we can build a lab of these things. How much would that cost, a lab of these things? Let's just say we needed 32 of these. So 32 times what? So base model would be 9K Canadian plus display, another 8K. So 17 times 32. Yeah, $500,000. So if anyone has $500,000, I have a deserving school that would love a lab of these. But otherwise, I can't see us buying it. I really can't. What is Apple thinking these days? Really? Maybe I'm overreacting a little bit. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Fade out.